In the second course tour, I'm going to walk you through some of the key components of Module 1. The structure and flow and assignment pattern of Module 1 will be the same as the structure, flow, and assignment pattern for Modules 2 through 9 as well. So you really only need to see this first time. I'm going to go into Content, and I'm going to grab Module 1. And so in this module, you have an Introduction and Outcomes, which I'll take you to. And then this is just going to give a brief statement about what's in the course. It'll tell you what learning and activities and assignments you have for the module. And then it'll give the learning outcomes. And here's where you'll see the specific math topics that we'll cover. I'm going to go up here to the upper right-hand corner, and I'll click the next arrow. And then you'll see the Module 1 video lecture and textbook reading. So this will be the same for each module. You'll have an outline and you'll have videos that associate with it. So in this first module, we're covering sections 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 of our textbook. I'm going to open this outline, which you can download and print and then write on. So it's one packet with all of the outlines. Section 1.1 is here on page 2, and then it continues. And what this outline is it's the background of the videos. So in the videos, myself and another instructor write on these outlines, and so you're expected to take notes similarly. Where the videos are, they're in the textbook itself, which I can open. So if you want to spend your time in the textbook, that works great. If I come to 1.1, the video is embedded here. You can go there externally if you want to. They're also in our course itself. So I've got them labeled by section. Section 1.1 is embedded here, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. And those are the ones that you'll need for this first module. At the end here, I have textbook reading. Again, it's the same sections from the textbook. The textbook reading is not required or collected in the same way that the lecture outlines are, but it's a great place to find further examples. There are often some interactive exercises. Not going to count for credit, but something that's helpful as you're reading. So that's the first thing that you'll want to do, is complete those lecture outlines while watching the videos. They're broken up by section, so you could do a section, then the web work homework for that, or you could do all the sections and then all the web work homework. That's up to you. To get into the web work homework, let's get there. So there is this main web work tab at the top here if you want to navigate from there. Each module, I've also linked it there. So similarly to the sections we just took notes on, there's going to be sections of homework in here labeled 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. And you can always look at those close dates. Those are in the calendar as well. But these are the first 4. And so for this particular course, there's a bunch of short sections. So 4 sections, it might look like a lot. They're really broken down into a number of small sections. So let me take you in here real quick. I'm going to go into section 1.4. And I'm going to choose exercise 19. And this is the instructor view. So you're going to see that the solution option is here for me, and that I've already entered the answer. I'll redo that real quick. This solution button will be there for you after the deadline is passed. Since I'm the instructor, it's there right now. You won't see that until this is closed. A couple things I want to look at. So this is 6 plus 2 times 10. Using the order of operations. If I accidentally did 6 plus 2 and then multiplied by 10, I'd get 80, and I just want to show what that looks like. So let me submit that answer, and it's going to give me feedback. It says remember to do the multiplication first, order of operations. So it's telling me I did addition before multiplication, but multiplication should be first. So I'll do 2 times 10, which is 20, and then I'll add 6, which will give me 26. Now I can submit that answer, and it's going to tell me that it's correct. So we'll go through each of the problems like that. One of the main reasons I wanted to take you here is that there's this show me another button. So if I want extra practice, or if I'm stuck on a problem and can't figure out what I'm doing wrong, this will show you the solution right away. So I can go in and see how this one's done. I can also try it. Let's say I was still trying to do 6 plus 3 times 10 and getting 90. You'll notice I don't have a submit here, and I've got this header at the top. It says here's a new version of the problem. This is not going to record for the grade. So this show me another simply extra practice, but I can check that. It's probably going to give me the same feedback. Remember to do the multiplication first. I can practice there. And then once I'm done, I can go back to my main problem. You'll notice this opened in another window. So if I want to go back to my main problem, I can navigate here. Could also navigate through the web work navigation bar as well. So I've got that exercise set done, or I can assume that I've done most of it. Let's move on to the next item here. The Module 1 discussion. These directions are long, but again, these are going to be the same for each of the modules that we have. In short, you're going to post your full written work for one web problem. And this is similar to what I do in class when I have students share their homework problems and then we discuss it as a class. So you can see what your other students are doing, you can see other methods they take. It's also a great place to see other places where students get tripped up and then learn from their mistakes. That's one of the things that's really valuable in an in-person classroom that we're trying to mimic here. So this is something that you submit. You'll submit it by Sunday. Corrections are due by Tuesday, and you can definitely earn full credit for any resubmission. Every time you post, I'll post a grade, and then as you improve it, I'll just keep redoing that. So you'll pick one from the Google Drive sign-up sheet. And I have that open here. So you can enter your name for one of these problems. They're from sections 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 for this particular set. And those are coming from your WebWork homework. So you'll pick one to post, and then you'll write it out by hand and scan it, or take a picture of it, and then upload it. So then once you post that, you'll get feedback. And that's just a good place for you to get feedback early on, a very small assignment, but you'll get some practice and feedback. And you can also see your classmates post too. The last thing you'll do is a worksheet. So those are the practice components. The worksheet is really similar to a quiz, but definitely take home. So opening the worksheet has just a couple problems. So each of the key topics are going to be here. Again, you can download this and then write out your answers by hand. If you had some type of tablet, you can certainly write on there as well and submit it. Once it's scanned back in, you've got an upload button here. So we go into upload, and I have lots of things here. Let me go into sample assignment, and I've got my sample assignment here. I'll open that, and then you can write comments. You don't have to. I'll submit it. And it'll be there. And so now I have it submitted. You should get an email submission confirmation. If I go into assignments, I'll be able to see that I have something submitted here. So I have a link here to the submission. If I click on that, it'll show me what I submitted. Once I've graded your assignment and you have feedback, you're going to have an active link right there. And I'll send more information on that once the module closes. Those are the basics of Module 1. Keep up the good work.